I'm your host, Justin, joined as always by my co host, Corey. And today we've got a huge episode lined up. We're sitting down with Koko Lopez, who just took down second place at the Atlanta Regional Qualifier, piling one of the most explosive and aggressive legends in the game, Draven. Koko's run through the tournament was nothing short of a dominant performance, showcasing precise play, bold decision making, and deep understanding of the current meta. In this episode, we're hopeful to dive into his tournament journey, maybe some team dynamics, definitely a deck tech breakdown, and maybe uncovering some of the key moments that pushed him all the way to the finals. As always, I'll let Corey go ahead and lead this one. But how you doing, Koko?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Doing good, feeling good. Glad to be home for a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a break from a lot of travel. Man. Congratulations again on your absolutely incredible run, man. It was good to see. So taking second place, the Atlanta Regional Qualifier, I mean, what does that mean to you at the current stage in your competitive journey? And where can all the fans expect to see you compete next?
Okay. It meant a lot to me, to be honest. Like I had, like I said, I was traveling a lot this month. I didn't do too good in Vegas. I didn't do too good in Lille. So, it could get a little discouraging, right? Like I played competitive TCGs for forever, it seems like. So like, I'm not new to it. I'm a grinder. I go play tournaments, stuff like that. But not performing well at these two events kind of got a little discouraging for me. So to perform well at this tournament, just like solidify that, like, it's just like, a little bit of variance happens, like it does happen. Like as long as I just keep playing well, doing the best I can do, then like I can prevail and run it good. So that's what I did, and it felt good.
I think a lot of players get discouraged, right? They're like, man, I'm not top 64ing, I'm not top 32ing, I'm not top 8ing. It's like, well, it's a grindstone, man. Like you really have to run the marathon and not the sprint in these games. Like rarely do we see kind of like with Sam where he transitioned from Magic and just won his first tournament, right? Like that rarely happens on the Miracle Run. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that validation can be really key, especially like moving forward into other rounds. Did you find that you were able to get your feet under you and just rode the momentum throughout the whole entire tournament? And what was kind of the big turning point in you turning it around to be able to get to second place?
Yeah, I think I was determined this tournament, to be honest. Like I told myself, I was like, listen, like I'm finna lock in, I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna, bring my A game. But I usually do every tournament, but I don't know. I was really feeling it. I was feeling the fire. I was gassed up. I was playing extremely well, at least in my opinion, and just running it through. Like I just stuck to my game plan. I was like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna take everyone serious. It doesn't matter what round 2, round 13, the finals, whatever. Like I'm just one game at a time and keep it focused, keep it going.
I think that's really interesting that you bring up the fact that you kind of treat every player as if they're a top seeded player. You're never taking anybody for granted. You're taking every match seriously. And I think that a lot of new players coming into the scene could benefit a lot from developing themselves and working on a lot of that basic stuff, but just taking it seriously. Never underestimate your opponent. Even if you see the legend and it's Garen, maybe it surprises you, right? So those rogue decks can take games off of these bigger decks, and any player can surprise somebody. So it's really cool to hear you bring that up.
Yeah. The rogue legends could definitely get you. I know. And Lil, I lost to a Lee Sin, and it was just like, at first when I saw Lee Sin, I'm like, oh, okay, we're both like 4-0 at the time or something like that. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is like probably fine for me, right? Like mid-range mirror, I'm gonna have a bunch of card advantage. Like it's probably go in my favor. But like he had a lot of tools to beat Draven, to be honest, and it surprised me. The flash card, it's like one of the not Desert's Call, but the other one that falls all his guys back that can hide. I forget what it's called, but just like he had like some weird tools that kind of like I wasn't prepared for, and they'll definitely get you. They'll sneak up on you and can catch you with your pants down.
Yeah. We saw some statistics where Darius was actually win rate was very high from the matchups that it actually played in the tournament. Obviously, it didn't make a deep run, but it's just those rogue decks definitely can take a game off you. I personally lost to a Lee Sin first couple rounds of a tournament up here in Washington. It was kind of rough. I was just not expecting it.
Yeah. Same.
So, in preparation for a lot of these big tournaments, we hear a lot about, teams and the team environment, but I don't think that a lot of players fully understand what it means to be part of a team or even how they function in general, whether it's just a group of guys doing scrims or something. So, could you please walk us through how you and Challenger TCG prepare for events at this level?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I have a lot of stuff on my plate, so it's like it's harder for me to dedicate more time as much as my teammates, and that's like that's like a super benefit of having a team, right? Like I said, like I don't know when I was talking to you guys earlier when I was telling you like I went to Vegas for like a week, and then this was like right when the ban announcement happened, so like I didn't even get to really practice. We only have 2 weeks until Lil when they announced it, and then boom, I'm gone for a week and a couple of days past that. So when I get back, I have like 4 or 5 days to just like to practice and get some grinding. So I like heavily leaned on my team to, they already put in the reps, they put in the time, the effort, and they were able to share with me, the knowledge that they had, which like puts me ahead, right? Even when I'm starting so late. So I don't know. A team is you have such an advantage when you have a team, at least of people who are like so passionate, like everybody on Challenger TCG, obviously. Shout out to the boys. Yeah, it just benefits you. Like in playtesting, obviously you're playing players who are competent and competing at high levels. So that's exactly what you want to play against. People who are, putting in the hours. I know there's Daniel and Colin are constantly and they're playing 8 hours a day plus every day. So it's just like you just can't get that nowhere else, to be honest. Like it's very hard.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players underestimate how much having a team, even if it's not an official team, but just having a group of boys that can just constantly grind, bounce deck ideas off each other, have someone who's
Yeah.
the kind of the idea guy, and really just looking at some data. We talked to Prismaticism, and he talked about having a spreadsheet to kind of track a lot of their data. And so I think that's important to be able to analyze and look back and be like, how often am I getting wins? How often am I losing if I'm going on the draw versus being on the play, right? Like some of that
Yeah.
information really does help you make decisions. And it can even boil down to as much of like, hey, do I take this one card out to put this other card in? Or like, how are you feeling about this one specific tech? Is it working? Am I needing it? Is it not needed? The micro changes happen pretty quick with the team dynamic.
Yeah, bouncing all the ideas off everybody's head, right? Like one head, 2 heads, 3 heads, obviously better than one. So like getting everyone's input is just beneficial. It's just so good. And just like you said, like tracking all the matchups, it's impossible as the game gets bigger, more legends come out, right? So it's impossible to play against everything, right? Like it's like you have 2 or 3 legends you want to play that are like kind of in your roster that you're gonna bring to an event, and you need to play those kind of versus everything to kind of have a feel of like, for the most part, obviously you have a meta that you'll for sure get games in versus, but even the fringe stuff, you kind of want to know how that stuff plays out. When you have a big team or like a group of people, like multiple people could put in these matches and put in the results, like you said, on the spreadsheet. So you kind of already like, it's like cheating. Like you're like, I don't have to play some of these games. I get this information for free. Okay, like I see this is like unfavorable to this, it's favorable to this. And then you can like base your decision off that without having to put in so much time and effort into it.
I love that you touched base on the game getting bigger too, because in my last interview, I touched base on like how important sideboard is right now. But let's talk about like a couple sets down the road. Let's say we're into next year, man. Like 8 cards is not going to prepare you for
it's
the
not
spread
going to
of
be enough,
champions.
man. Exactly. You're going to be like, I hope I dodge, these legends. And
I think that kind of looking at going forward into these next sets, taking second place, getting that validation. Do we see you take Kaisa or Draven or some kind of iteration of red purple into Unleashed? Or are you gonna surprise us maybe with something a little bit different?
I am usually play the best deck kind of guy, right? Like I'm not going for like the best dubs. I'm not like I'm trying to get first place. I'm trying to just win the tournament. Whatever is the best, that's probably what I would play. So I'm not necessarily locked into anybody or anything like that. I kind of just like where the games take us is what I'm gonna play. Like right now, obviously Aurora's stomping. So like Aurora's looking good, but I mean I would hate to play that because I just hate that play style. It's just so boring. Just like no one's having fun. You're either turn 4 Aurora and winning the game and you're supposed to having fun, or you're like not playing Aurora and you're losing, you're not having fun. So it's like, but I am kind of messing with Pike a little bit. I'm trying to like brew up a Pike list that like I like, that I think can perform well. But
Okay.
obviously I do like the synergy of Pike. I like the idea of it. It's fun to me. So I'm trying that sauce, but I don't know how good it is, and we'll see where that goes.
Is there a favorite arch type of yours? Like if you had to say like mid-range control,
Mid-range in this game, I would say. Like I'm usually a big control player, to be honest, but in this game I like mid-range. Like I like the combat, I like the tricks, I like the math, stuff like that. So I like the mid-range.
yeah, I think it feels the best as a deck, right? It's like you're not super worried. Your draws are great. Like even if you don't get the perfect draw, you always have something to play, something to do, something to hide, right?
Yeah. I agree.
So what drew you to Riftbound then? We know that you've played a lot of different TCGs and stuff. So what was the big shift? What kind of drew you in?
It was a couple of things, because I've never played League, so I'm not a League fan. I've only ever really played Magic for a long time. I played Magic for 10 plus years. I had a big friend group for it. We would travel, compete. It was fun. You know, it was about the gathering. And then Magic got kind of stale for me in a way.
100%,
Like
yeah.
I just like, I don't know if it was the power creeper. It's just what it was. It just wasn't hitting the same for me. And I got into One Piece because my son wanted to play a TCG, but he wasn't really into Magic. And I really wanted to get him on board with a TCG, just to bond with something and just have some fun. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was a kid, I go to the card shop. It was like the best to me. So like I wanted to share this with him too, or at least get him into it, see if he likes it. And he loves One Piece. So when he saw there was a One Piece TCG, you know, he asked me, he's like, Dad, like, can we play One Piece? And I'm like, absolutely. So I dove into One Piece. But the only thing with that was I really like all my friends from Magic, like no one really played One Piece. So it was like kind of just like a side quest for me. And it's like, I got to compete. So, you know, I'm like, I want to go to regionals. I want to play, like, I want to compete in One Piece as well. So I was traveling by myself, and it's just like, it's just not the same, right? Like I said, like when you're like traveling with your homies and stuff. Riftbound was coming out, and I had all my Magic friends, you know, all also tired of Magic. We're like, oh, okay, well, like, you know, we're going to get into Riftbound. And now I can start TCG from the beginning, which also was appealing. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm about to jump on board with it too, and we'll see where it goes.
I love that. And you're starting your kid off early. Love it with the One Piece. My kid's now just getting into the anime. He finished the live action, so he's smashing through the anime right now.
That's a long one there.
Yeah. And it seems to be a commonality with MTG too, right? Like I was a huge Magic player. A lot of my buddies still are like in the semi-pro scene, and it just kind of, I don't know necessarily what changed for me. It was being a standard player and then having 8 sets a year plus secret layers. It's like by the time a set comes out, the next set's right around the corner. It's like, man, I cannot keep up with this kind of pace.
Yeah, it's quick.
And the Riftbound community just reminded me a lot of like the early Magic days. Like it's very, very welcoming, very forgiving, very about the game and about the players. And so I love to see that as well.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's gas. And now my son is also getting into Riftbound too. So it's a W. It's awesome.
There you go. That's really cool. Well, shout out to all the families out there, you know, keeping everybody going and the support from them. So kind of walk us through your run at Atlanta. What were some of the key matches or moments that really defined your path to that top seed?
It kind of flew for me, to be honest. And like, you know, I'm getting up there in age, so my memory is not the best. But I will say there was a couple of key turns where, like, I'll say, like, switcheroo was absolutely insane. Like that, like, just people weren't respecting it. Because I know Lil previously, my teammate Daniel did well with Draven, and so he won the best of with Draven. Shout out to the boy Daniel, who and he didn't play switcheroo at all, right? He only played, like, the only hidden cards really was Tide Turner. So people obviously see, you know, me, child of TCG as well, probably assuming I'm on the same list. And, you know, and I know that they're going to think this. And that just, I promise you, it probably won me like 4 or 5 matches alone, like just the blowout, just like actually heavily impacted. So I'll say switcheroo was like MVP for sure. I know it won me certain matches, like while I was like, oh, behind. And this is like all the tempo I needed to catch back up in the game. I didn't have any like too crazy games or anything that I can like think of. Obviously, besides like the finals, I would say.
Yeah, the top deck war.
Yeah. It was a crazy game for sure.
Absolutely bonkers. One of the best finals I've seen in Riftbound. It was nuts to see you guys go through that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool to hear that you were really locked in for this tournament. It sounded like you had the afterburners on. You were just cutting through opponents, just pushing people aside, getting to that end goal. And dude, that was an awesome run. So super cool to see that. Would you say that, kind of going into the deck tech a little bit more, we talked a little bit about the switcheroo. Would you say that most of the time having a little bit of flavor allows for more skill expression in your deck
100%.
building? That's awesome. I always love it because I want to see people be a little bit more unique in their building. Don't follow the best list that's out there. Everybody's going to have a general list, but you're always going to need to put your own ingredients in, add a little bit of flavors that's more your style, that you're liking. So what was kind of your run through in building this deck and some of your sideboard decisions and where you arrived at those?
So I come in with a game plan of like, I want to be good in the mirror. I want to be good versus Aurelia. Right. And I want to be good versus Kai'Sa, because Kai'Sa can be a hard matchup as well. And so with these things in mind, I'm like, okay, Draven's already, can do Draven things. It can be almost anything, right? That's the appeal to play in the deck. So as long as I can be okay in these matchups, or if I can have a slight edge in these matchups, then, I'll be feeling good. So this was the decision to basically, for me, the main deck, the third Rebuke. Most of us were in main deck and third Rebuke, but every time I played 2 in the main, 1 in the board, I kept boarding in the third one in most matches. And my teammates also saying the same thing. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, why do we not just play 3 in the main in the first place then? Right? It's good. Obviously good into the mirror versus any Forerunner, good versus Aurelia. And it can be okay versus Kai'Sa, whatever. But yeah, so the third Rebuke and even the Beast Below was bonkers.
That's the tech I was interested in. Seeing that come out, I was like, holy cow.
So the Beast Below was already tried by my teammates previously, and they said it performed well for them. So when I tried it out, I was like, okay, I see the appeal to this card. It's absolutely insane. When you're on the draw and your opponent's going, 2-4-6 Forerunner, and you just drop a 7-8 that bounces their Forerunner, it's so much tempo. It's so much tempo, especially when you have like the curve of like the Rek'Sai on the draw, right? You got like Rek'Sai plus whatever 4 drop or 4-5, whatever, and then you play it, bounce whatever. If they go to like conquer here, reinforce with the Forerunner, you're able to bounce it and then run over their board. It's like absolutely insane. Like the tempo is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
and that's basically what it was for. Was like, I just want to punish you for tapping out and playing Forerunner, and I'm just gonna steal the tempo back, because obviously Draven mirrors are heavily play draw dependent, and for the most part, like going first is a huge advantage. So being able to buy back so much tempo is so important. And it's also why we chose like the choice of using Asper's Climb too, because it just slows the game down. Like you're going second, you want to slow the game down. Now you don't, and then you get to steal the tempo away. So you're able to kind of get ahead that way.
Yeah, you're more dictating the pace. And we saw time and time again through this tournament, the Ferrari Forerunner, as it was coined by the Riot staff, was probably the most played. Frosty was talking about how there was a time where it was like, I think 6 of them got played with inside one game, just back to back to back to back. And it's
that sounds crazy.
Yeah, having the ability to bounce, I think, is huge, especially when it's champion related. Like we have some cards coming out in Unleashed that kind of lets you bounce one of yours and one of mine, but it doesn't stick a body out there, especially that can get over Forerunner.
Especially something so big that just requires cards to get over. And then post board, I could bring in the second one, so I have like 5 unsummon effects or 5 bounces, right? So just for tempo, 3 Rebuke, 2 Beast Below. The card is absolutely crazy, to be honest.
That's the card that overperformed for you, or I guess was the hype card for you?
I will say that it did its job. It did its intended job, and it was always good when I had it for the most part. Right. But I will say the card that literally overperformed for me was Switcheroo, like 100%. That card won me games like easily, like just because people didn't respect it. And I mean, that's on them to respect it, but it is what it is. That card definitely was the MVP for me. But I will say that also, that's why, or going back to the board, the options in the board, I decided to play 2 Last Rites. I know that was like an uncommon thing. Most people will only play 1 if they even played it. But my thing was I wanted to be good into Victor and Kai's as well. And they also play the Rocket Barrage. So like post board, you don't get Zon Warren. So you don't get to find these 1-ofs as much. And then sometimes they have the answers for it. So having the second one was like really big for me. And it came up not a bunch this tournament, but in general in my testing, it came up a bunch. And so I was like, okay, I really like that as well. The second Last Rites, I think it was. And then the second Beast Below on the board, they were all just so good.
Yeah, and I think Switcheroo is one of those cards where it felt like with Spirit Forge, a lot of people tried it early and then it kind of fell off. And kind of got undervalued. And I think some of the newer players might have a hard time learning timing and like when to place it or when to use it. But you're not wrong. It is a beast when it's being played at a high level, right? Because both players know kind of what they're attempting to do, but they don't always know what they're dancing around, right?
Yeah. You can be very sneaky with it. I know I blew out at least one person, maybe even multiple people. I can't remember for sure, but I know there was times where like I would go for like a double hold, going for the win, hide 2 cards, and how I hide the switcheroo on the larger unit side, but I would hide the tide turner on the smaller unit side. Because then if you're thinking about switcheroo, obviously you're gonna think about it being with the smaller unit. And so when they go to combat on the other side, I'll just flip over the tide turner first, swap things, and then switcheroo after the tide turner is revealed to get the smaller unit on that side. And it's just too many hoops to jump through, man. It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot of mind games in this. We were talking
Yeah.
to Matt a little bit about how there's a game with inside the game, and he talked about you're not always playing the deck. Sometimes you're playing the player and getting
100%.
inside their brain. And yeah, you're not wrong. I love that fact that most people would assume you're going to put the switcheroo on the big side, but instead you put it on the tight turner sides.
Yeah. Do you think that there's going to be room for a lot more skill expression going forward as more sets open up? We have Unleashed, obviously, coming out. I mean, this Friday, we're going to get access to it. So does the skill expression get higher and higher as more sets come out? And what do you think? Is it healthier for the game? Do you think that this next format for Unleashed is going to be faster or slower than the current format? And how do you feel that the format's going to shape up?
I think it does. Absolutely does have more skill, especially when you have a larger card pool for sure. I don't know me personally, I don't know what direction it's gonna pull, if that's a good or bad thing, but I don't know. Honestly speaking, I'm not too excited for like an Aurora format. If that's what it's gonna be, it's just not my style. I'm not really into it. So I don't know for sure, but that's what it's looking like. Aurora's like kind of doing well. In the first couple of events, that's what you see, right? Like the online events and stuff recently. And in playtesting, like it's like Aurora's winning most things. It's like it doesn't feel good in my opinion. I'm not a fan of it, but
Right.
if you're into ramp, then you'll have a good time in this format, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're hearing a lot of people already call for the ban of Aurora, which is hilarious because everyone was wanting to ban a Draven already. I was like, now how good does that Draven meta feel, sir?
Yeah. I won't lie.
Exactly.
I like the miracle more than I like the Aurora. Like if that's gonna be the format for sure.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure. Hopefully, I don't know if a ban is a fix, but I don't know. I think it would be pretty bad if they had to ban something again. So
Yeah, it kind of whittles down a little bit of the versatility of a lot of those decks. I mean, we're even going to see a little bit of uniqueness with Folly Bear and the dragons coming. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see. I liked the addition of a lot of the ambush decks. I thought that was really fun. So like Rengar having more ambush from hand, and that keyword getting a lot more prevalent. It's it's so good.
I still have a nightmare.
Surprise! Yeah, man. So is there a new mechanic or an enhanced mechanic in Unleashed that you're looking forward to? I know the ambush was a big one for me. I really liked the addition of that. Dodging counterspell is pretty neat.
Yeah. No, I like the ambush too. Yeah, I think I'm on the same page. I'm excited for the ambush too. I kind of like mid-range G right now too. Like the tools that has.
Yeah, the EXP is definitely a really cool, unique mechanic. And I think that it's going to maybe, I've heard 50-50 on whether or not like it's too slow to get EXP. It's not fast enough. And then you see it other times popping off. And then there's a Yi that's untargetable and it can gank and it can just do everything. And you're struggling. So I want to see a little bit more dabbling into these experience-based decks that are trying to kind of rise into the meta and where they kind of fit. Because I didn't necessarily think that any one individual, like just flat EXP based deck was performing super well, but where the EXP was teched in and run as kind of a mini engine in a lot of these decks, I was seeing a little bit more success. But do you think that EXP is a good step in the right direction for a mechanic? Do you think it's subpar? Was it too soon?
I think I'm okay. Like in my opinion, I'm okay with the mechanic, kinda. I don't like stuff that you can't really interact with, right? Like counters that you can't interact with. But that's not to say that they won't print stuff like that later. And for the most part right now, it's not insanely crazy, so it's okay. But if they ever do like come out with something that's like the payoff is just insane and it's hard to deal with and you can't interact with it, then I feel like it'd be a feel bad moment. But for the most part right now, I think it's fine.
Yeah, and I think for me, we got a taste of how good the XP can be in the drafts. I don't know if you played any events, so this.
Well, I've been playing limited all weekend. It's been great. It's been so
that
fun.
XP for Yi is just so
limited. It's actually crazy. Unlimited. The Yi is really strong. The green in general.
I would argue that was the best deck. Like, don't get me wrong, Vi is like a close second and has some fun mechanics, but I was just such a bully with Yi and just ramping dudes out there.
Hey, bullying on locals, man. Yeah, no. I feel you. Yeah, just like, come on, kid. Like 10-year-old kid.
So we've kind of talked a little bit about with Prismat and Frosty about eating at the tournaments. So
okay.
Staying hydrated, staying fueled. I mean, it sounds like you were super locked in, but did you ever find there was a point where you were hungry, thirsty? Was the food at the venue okay? How did you like kind of prep for that?
So from my competitive history, I've always been a person who fasts when I'm playing tournaments. Like I will eat. When I was younger, it was like I wouldn't eat until dinner. Right, we're locked in. We're zoned in. I'm not eating. I don't want to feel sluggish. I don't want, I want my mind 100% locked in on the game. Not thinking about anything else. So that was my take on it. Now that I'm getting older, I gotta eat something in the morning now. So I eat a breakfast. I eat like a hearty breakfast early. Make sure I'm fueled up at least to last the day. But during the tournament, I'm still probably fasting. I'm not gonna eat nothing. I'll drink water, plenty of water. Sometimes Gatorade, but I don't really snack during tournaments for me personally. I want to have the meal at the end.
I gotcha. That makes sense. I mean, we were talking a little bit about like sugar crashes and that kind of thing, just not taking anything too risky, right? Like I understand totally wanting to just fast through the whole entire thing. I'm a muncher. I gotta
snack on something.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. It's I just gotta snack on something. So kind of going into a little bit of our listener questions. Justin, do you want to take over into our listener questions while I figure this out?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of keeps you were talking about earlier being locked in. One of our listener questions from @SimpleSprout. Do you have a go-to pump-up song or any type of ritual that you do kind of going into the tournament that kind of gets you locked in, or you kind of just like headphones off and just kind of taking it all in?
For the most part, I'm headphones off, but there is, if I'm listening to something probably get me like hyped up or like in the zone, I will have to say I'll throw on like the Bleach Espada soundtrack. It's actual guys. I don't know if you guys watch anime, but
we both watch it.
The soundtrack from the Espada arc is like absolutely fire. That every time I hear that shit, it gets me hyped up. So I could throw that on and like lock in and like I hit my laps around. I like when I'm playing a tournament, I like to like walk around the venue and get blood flowing and stuff like that. I have my headphones on, listen to music to just get locked in.
Love that. Is there any other rituals that you might do before a tournament to kind of
before a tournament?
Yeah, or during. Maybe you have to like make sure you check in with your kid. Maybe you got to wear your favorite shirt or have your favorite sleeves. Like
I have very weird superstitions where now I'm like taking things out of my book bag. I'll take like I have to take my mat out first, then my deck box, then my life pad. Like that kind of stuff. If I get it out of order, it fucks up my head sometimes. It's weird, I know, but that's like how I rock.
We did see the missing pad in the finals.
It was driving me crazy. You see, it was driving me crazy, and that we're gonna blame the finals on that. Look,
there we go. Yeah, it was the pad's fault.
I don't know. That finals was absolutely insane. Like,
it was bonkers. Oh, man, best finals I've probably seen all year.
Absolutely,
it really was. It's a feel bad moment for me in a sense. Like, not trying to have like a pity party or anything like that, but just like, I don't know. I could have won it, and it feels bad, like not taking the time to slow down and see my lines to win the game, and just kind of like tunnel visioning on it and losing it. But I can't. I gotta give props to Prismat. You played to his outs. He played great. It was what it was.
Yeah, I think there was probably a little RNG luck there at the very end. I mean, both you guys were heavily top decking, trying to find that last out, and he drew literally probably the only card that he could play in that situation. So,
but he played for it, which is extremely well. I know there's a lot of like controversy about like the last turn, just because people were like, oh, you should have counted the hard bargain, like, or you should have hard bargained the ride to win. But I don't know. I just couldn't. I had like going into the turn. I want to talk about it a little bit just because I know it's like a topic that people were talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Right,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I kind of made my post that I made. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, whatever. But already was like kind of locked in on his turn. When he was taking his turn, I was already kind of like calculating what I was gonna do on my turn for it, and I know that I had just rebuked the Annie, and so I know he has access to Annie rebuke again, and I know I had the Forerunner up. So when I'm going to my next, when I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do my next turn, at the time I had a hard bargain in my hand, only one, and I like a hopeful. It was like a hard bargain, hopeful, and something else I was like irrelevant. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, he has no units out. Like I have a chance of winning this. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna just push up the Forerunner and I'm gonna reinforce with the Draven and then hold up the rebuke or hold up the hard bargain to counter the rebuke. And so you get in these weird spots where like during the tournament, games are super grindy. They're long, right? And matches can get grindy and long as well. And you don't want to go to time. So I a lot of time I'll think about my turns during my opponent's turn, right? Like for the most part, like, okay, I'll think about what I'm going to do next turn. And because you don't want to go to time. And so I'm already like kind of locked into doing this, but in top cut is untimed. So I should have slowed down and taken my turn more serious. Because when I drew for turn, I drew the Falling Star. And I already kind of decided, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna push up my Forerunner, draw an extra card, and then play the Draven and then hold up the hard bargain for the rebuke that I know about. And when I pushed up the Forerunner and he played the Ride the Wind, it was like I had to like reevaluate everything. I was like, oh my god, I just messed up. Like I could have just Falling Star first, kill the Merchant, and then I don't get him looks for the Rengar, right? So now it's like when he plays the Ride the Wind, that's when I have to stop and I have to like go back in the tank and reevaluate my turn. Now I'm like, okay, if I hard bargain the Ride the Wind for 4, because I have to do it for 4, it essentially kind of takes up my whole turn. I would still have to Falling Star the Merchant, and that's basically my whole turn. And then I leave a Forerunner at a battlefield where he could go Annie and rebuke the Forerunner, and then it puts me in a super bad spot because the next turn I have no more removal because I have to play my Falling Star that turn, and I have no accelerate unit. So I'm just like kind of in a spot where like, okay, is this better for me to give him 2 looks for the Rengar? Because if he doesn't find a Rengar and I Falling Star the Merchant and I play the Draven, I honestly think that he's like 0 outs to it. So I'm like, okay. So I sat there, thought about it, and that's the decision I made. But he on the second card, he drew the Rengar, and then it won him the game. And it was again still a crazy match, still was super good. But again, shout out to Priz, he played super well. It was awesome that he played to his outs and he got it. So I'm not salty by any means. It was a fun match for sure.
Yeah, I would argue probably best finals we've had since Riftbound's been around. And, you know, I love that you are mentally digesting a lot of the plays and kind of your matches, especially in the top 4. Do you have a specific? We know you have a notepad. Do you have a specific methodology of how you take notes? Do you take notes and then quickly digest it? Do you keep it all in your brain? Like, what's your kind of habit when it comes to note taking, like a match like that?
For the most part, it's in my mind. I'm the type of person that just like if I finish the match, I will sit there right then and try to digest it myself. Like before I even like scoop up my cards for the most part. Like just thinking about like what I could have done differently, like if I should have done this differently, et cetera, et cetera. Like at the end, you'll see me kind of sit there and like just thinking again. Like I was like, obviously, like it was way more straightforward to me at the time because I'm just like, oh my god, I just play the Fallen Star first. Like I didn't even like think about the Ride the Wind. That was my mistake. I just like I should have drew my card for turn and then reevaluate my turn after getting the Fallen Star to make sure that's the right play. But I just like moved so quick with the Forerunner and got punished. So I like, you know, obviously when he did that and I'm just like, oh my god, I have to Fallen Star this anyway. I could have just leveled this. It was just like it almost like wins me the game on the spot. So I didn't have to think about it long because I knew where the mistake was. But you'll see me sit at the end of it and talk to him about it, whatever. And I like to digest it like at the time I'm doing it, but I'm not gonna write it down. It's more so like a mental thing.
I like that. Yeah, I think Prismat kind of talked about this as well. It's like it's so important to ingrain that as a memory right then and there versus like recalling it, you know, days later, because you might think that he had 6 runes up when really he only had 5, right? It's like you need to make sure you commit that to memory as soon as possible. And I love that you go ahead and download with the opponent as well. I think that's super, super key. And a lot of players aren't willing to kind of have that conversation. They just pick up their cards and they kind of just go on to the next match or go find something to do. And it's like you can learn a lot from just that interaction. Like, did you have this? Like, why'd you play that? Like you can kind of gain some knowledge.
Yeah, no, 100%. I don't know. It's hard. Like you never want to make make the same mistakes twice, right? That's how you learn. That's how you get better. And I obviously, if I'm playing this competitively and I'm putting time and effort into it, I want to be as best as I could be. So anything that can help me in that, I'm gonna try to do.
Yeah, we'll take those nuggets of knowledge. We got a couple more questions here from Ghost Prototype. Do you got any hot takes going into Unleashed? Is there anything you think is kind of hot dog water? You think any decks are kind of underground? Like anything out there that's spicy?
I'm not gonna try to be a Debbie Downer, but I feel like this format gonna be kind of booty at the beginning. So I don't know. I don't have any like super hot takes. My hot take is gonna be that I think it's gonna be a war format and it's gonna be ass. That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think you're very right. I think we're gonna see kind of the evolution of this set later on. I think we're probably gonna see the same 4 to 5 decks in the top level for a while until we kind of get some better development. Final question we have here is from Orb Big Fran. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Absolutely not. What? This is crazy. No, I'm anti pineapple on pizza. I know, but
hey, we're 3 for 3 on that. Frosty, you and Prismat also all said.
My wife
no
loves
pineapple.
it. I can't do it. I don't understand it, but it is what it is.
That's hilarious. You shouted out the wife because Frosty's wife also is a diehard pineapple lover. Yeah.
I'm just like, even having to get it on half the pizza, I'm sad.
100%. Like, I love pineapple by itself, but not on pizza.
Yep. That's funny.
Wanted to give you a huge shout out, by the way, again. Thank you for kind of giving us your time and joining us and giving us an inside look at the incredible run. Second place in Atlanta Regional Qualifier, and I guarantee you it's probably not going to be the last time we see you in the top 8 or in the final table. Are there any shout outs, any thanks to your community, anything you want to give? We'll kind of give you the spotlight here and shout out whoever you'd like.
Shout out to you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It was awesome. Shout out to, Child and CTCG. Again, without my teammates, I wouldn't got as far as I got. Those guys are great. They're always grinding. They're the best. Subscribe to the Metafy, you guys. I'm telling you, if you really want to level up your game, the Discord is insane. It's totally worth it. Like, there people in there 24/7 grinding, helping everyone out. It's so much knowledge to be gained, to be honest. Shout out to my boy Minute to Win It. That's my homie, my boy. Always help me play test. Like, just literally there for all my stuff. That's my motherfucking number one. Shout out to my wife and kids. My wife is, it's not easy me being gone all the time, traveling for my hobby and stuff like that. So I know I have to shout her out. She's very loving, supporting. Shout out to all my friends too. Also, the boys, they know who they are. The goats. Yeah, I think that's it.
Love that you mentioned Metafy as well. I just recently saw that you guys opened up, I think 50 more spots
for the challenger. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't checked that out, it's a great place. They have great deck techs. They have really insightful breakdowns. It's not just like, hey, here's a list. It's like a play-by-play, how to play into matchups, what's good, what's bad, sideboard tech. It's pretty well in depth over there.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up here on episode 4. We want to thank our lovely guest, Koko Lopez, and
thank you.
And shout out to our co-host, Corey, as always. Cheers, guys.